Welcome into the Film Guy Network. It's football season, which means I've got a film study for you. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Sunday afternoon around here. We had a debate on social media, not really a debate, more of a poll. Hey, which one of these? I prepped 3 of them last night. Had way too much time on my hands at 2 o'clock in the morning. I prepped 3 film studies. Texas A&M's absolutely BTA belt to the rear end against LSU. Had Alabama's offense. And who was the other one? I studied Texas's comeback against Kentucky, right? 17 points, outscored them 24-0 in the last 9.5 minutes. Put it up on social media at BricksAustinBA. Which one of these do you want us to tackle first? And which one of these should we put out first? Bang. Fighting Texas A&M Ags fans showed up in the mentions ad nauseum. So here we are today to give you your flowers. I kind of gave them to you on Paul Feinbaum's show going into this football game. Really concerned about LSU's eye discipline. Really concerned about LSU's run fits against quarterback run. And boy, did that show up on Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening out there at LSU, particularly in the second half. Excited to show this one with you guys today. Hey, got a couple of rules around here for you A&M, LSU, college football fans, whoever showed up today. If you learn anything about the game of football today, you must subscribe. If you learn anything about the game of football today, you must subscribe. If you have any fun at all today, you must subscribe. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've done a lot of these. I'm going to hit one of them boxes over the next however long this one is. Hey, let's shut up and let's grind the tape. All right, we got producer Austin in here today. I already challenged Austin to lock in and be elite today, so I got faith in him today. He's going to be elite. All right, you know what else I got faith in? Every time I turn on LSU football under Blake Baker, and really LSU football in general, because I do think this is their core identity. This is who they are. They're a coverage unit. They're going to be able to cover you. They're going to be a man-to-man football team. Every time I see LSU play, they are a man-to-man football team. Give me 1 second. This is going to bother me all day long. We might cut this out. That one little line on that TV was going to bother me all day long. Lock in. Let's go. Hit that thumbs up button on the front end. We're going to crush it today. I know they're going to play man-to-man, and here's another example of right here. We can already see based off of alignment, though. Eyes, shoulders, eye contact, body alignment, telling us we're in man-to-man coverage. The motion is only going to confirm it and help us with what we're doing after the snap, right? We're getting a natural stacked release there at the snap of the football. We're running mesh with a spot, right, and a rail right there from the wide receiver. Let me draw that up for you, right? We got mesh. All right, and then we're going to have a spot. I think actually Casey Concepcion runs the mesh, and the tight end runs the spot, as we should. 2 of our best run after the catch ball carriers right here, running mesh early in the football game. Bang. Now, you will notice on this film study, and you will hear in my analysis of A&M, I think they lead the country in 5-yard throw that turned into 25-yard explosive. I mean, they have to be. I don't know what college football nerd out there is tracking that metric, but they need to, because this football team, I'm sure it's in yards after catch metrics, but this team is throwing the ball at 5 yards and under consistently and turning into explosives, because guys like Casey Concepcion could do stuff like this after the catch. All right? That's 10, 12 yards after the catch right there, a 15-yard chunk to start the football game. To be honest with you guys, I really don't think they struggled to move the football at any point in this football game. I think there was 2 turnovers, right? One of which was a bad decision in the red zone. The other was a great play by number 4. He tipped the ball up, all right? And the other possession that stalled out in this football game for A&M, 2nd and 6, or 2nd and 10, you take a ball off the arm of the quarterback and it rolls 25 yards negatively. You might as well punt the football right there. Like outside of that, played clean, efficient, moved the football, including this opening drive. I told you, we know they're going to be a man-to-man football team. So what do we want to do? We want to rub them and we want to stack them. Meaning at some point we want to have guys rubbing across the middle of the field, and at all times we want to have somebody stacking their releases. Ultimately, that's going to create a rub right here and create opportunity for our tight end, right? And now our big 6'5" tight end has an opportunity, 5 yards of space, to catch the football, turn, face a safety that's undersized against him, and now we got a yards after the catch opportunity, right? But it's only created through the rub and that stack, that man-to-man beater right there to start the football game. They're just dialing them up. here early on, okay? Now, we talked last week, again, the last point of analysis I had on Paul Feinbaum's show Tuesday was I felt like LSU's inability to spy Diego Pavia cost them the football game against Vanderbilt. Right? There were 3 chunks created by number 2's legs in the middle of that football game that completely swayed it, including the last play of the football game, which was him icing it with quarterback draw. Never, not once did they quarterback spy. Never, not once did they think, hey, maybe we should make sure this guy doesn't run down the middle of our defense for 65 yards. Well, they had a different animal this week. This guy's not as gritty and tough and playmaking and whatever Pavia is, right? This dude's electric. If we let this guy out in space without getting a hand on him, we're going to lose him completely for 45 yards and an explosive. And this is a prime example. They're trying to take a shot. But again, we're LSU, so we cover it relatively well. Their coverage units are great. It's everything else right now defensively that's falling apart like this right here. Now, I don't know. Let's go to the top of the play. You tell me if number 7's job is either in man-to-man responsibilities or is it to spy the quarterback? Because I don't quite know. I think there are 2 quote-unquote potential threats over here on this side of the football, one of which is the tight end. We see the safety down there in the box responsible for him. And we have a running back that's now getting collisioned by the defensive end. But if he were to flare into the flat or run up the sideline, he might be Harold Perkins' responsibility. I don't know. Either we have one of the world's worst spy attempts from Harold Perkins, or we failed to spy the quarterback and keep him contained. Either way, horrible, horrible process in terms of defense, right? We're not results-based around here. We are process-based, all right? And I think number 7 right here has his eyes on that threat over here. These 2 threats, safeties down here on here. We have nobody to spy the quarterback. And look how disheveled our pass rush unit has now become. All right, now I know they're off play action. I know they've moved the spot. This is a lot of great stuff by the offensive coordinator, right? We're moving the pocket naturally as an offense, but we got to squeeze that pocket, period, or spy him, one or the other. Absolutely gash. His change of direction, too, is 100% elite. But, hey, sometimes it's what the other team's doing as well. It's the other thing that I love about this A&M unit. They are one of the best rushing football teams in college football, not just because they got a great running threat at the quarterback position. There's hundreds of teams with that in college football nowadays. No, they're designed and executing at a really, really high rate. Take a look at this left tackle, right? We got read option called right here. I think they're going to take the tight end out of the equation somehow, some way. He does not get involved in this play. Nonetheless, we've got 4 or 5 offensive linemen blocking inside zone this way. We are going to read what would normally be the defensive end, right? But here, what happens if the defensive end spikes across your face and they gap replace? Well, that will change our responsibilities as an offense on the fly, right? As the ball is snapped, as the bullets are flying, our responsibilities are going to change. How do we react? How do we respond? The defense is hunting a havoc play. Let's see how they respond. Let's watch the right or the left tackle first and foremost. As that guy goes to cross my face, just because the rules say he's a read player, he's now become in my gap. He's my responsibility. I'm going to wash his ass down as far as I can. Now, you've become the read player. All right, so now we're going to read him. He stays square and flat and wants to be a quarterback player. And now guess what? 23's gashed you right down your face for 12 yards. Okay, so yeah, we could talk all day about lack of execution on the offensive side or the defensive side of the football, offensive side of football, LSU playing bad ball, whatever it is. This is great ball. This is a great ball right here from the left tackle. Great collect right there on that defensive end. Completely washed him down. Great job staying tight right there, number 23, to the butt of the down block from the offensive tackle. Again, I think they lead the nation in 5-yard throws that end up in 20-yard explosives. I think they get another one to their tight end right here. Getting man-to-man coverage, as you can see by the travel motion from the nickel right there. It looks like they're getting a bunch of man-to-man, and they are. All right, and look, there's that stacked release again. I don't know if y'all saw that as the ball was snapped, but they're going to make you fight. They're going to make you fight. You're a great football player. They're not going to allow you to just walk down, play bump and run coverage against their best football player. No, they are not. All right, they are not going to allow you to just stand there at the outside position, outside the numbers, and put hands on them, right? So this is a man beater right here all day, every day. But it's a great job by Casey Concepcion getting open, right? It's a great job after the catch right here because we catch this ball a good 3 or 4 yards before the sticks. and he makes a guy miss and goes and picks up another 15, 16 yards after the catch, all right? But none of it happens if we don't get the blitz picked up. I talked about this on our Sunday show. If you're not watching our Sunday show, you 100% should. It's one of the best reaction shows in all of college football, all right? But they do a great job picking up blitzes every single time in this football game. They go 4-by-1. All right, we're going to put you on an island over here. That means 22. Emmitt Smith's son. You got to step in the hole right there and go step on the toes of a linebacker that's coming with some intensity, or a safety that's coming with intensity. Get the blitz picked up, and Marcel Reed does a great job playing accurate and on time into a window, allowing his guy to go make a play after the catch. Everything's tuned up right now as an offense. And again, this was before their quote-unquote sputter as an offense, right? They still got 3 turnovers. 2 turnovers coming and a bad possession in this football game. Again, I do question sometimes, like, somebody's going to give this guy smoke for not spying this guy. But to be honest with you, this clip kind of proves that you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Okay, even if we do have a spy, what happens if the quarterback's so damn athletic that he runs away from it anyways? And this is a prime example. They're going to have 2 hook defenders. They're not spying him, but they're playing zone against him for the first time all real football game. They drop these 2 hook curl defenders, and they're at 7 yards. All right, they got all the room and the space to close on them, and they're not going to be able to do so right here on a pivotal down in plus territory. Okay, so even if I did have a spy on this guy, this is the real problem he's creating right now for defenses. Look at this. We got 2 defenders right here, 5 yards away. This is an Oklahoma drill. All we got to do is vice the football, get this guy down on the ground. He finds a way to get away from us. And now, so we got another 15-yard chunker. It just feels just getting chewed up. Ground's just getting chewed up left and right by this offense from A&M. Look at it from the tight. You can see, man, he's just an angled defier. All right, and what I do, I don't necessarily love the idea that he's getting, Kirk did it to him with Lamar. But what I do appreciate about him and Lamar both, I'm not saying he's this, and I don't think Kirk was either, but their change of direction is elite, most importantly, but most importantly, they don't take hard hits. I haven't seen this kid take one flush just yet. Have you? Have you seen Marcel Reed in 16 starts take an absolute gauntlet shot? I don't remember one. He has great situational and positional awareness like that right there, okay? And then get down, protect the football. But this is what I'm talking about with them. As a defense right here, we finally play some zone coverage. All right, we force what we call a dead zone check down. Look, we've taken care of all the vertical threats, right? We've got help over the top of him. We've carried number 3 vertical. Our hook curl defenders have gotten deep under the deep cross. Like, we've gotten everything done, and we're going to force what we call in the defensive football world a dead area check down. We're going to force the ball to go to the dead area of the defense, and here's the deal. They're way better right now at this than anybody else in the country, not named Zachariah Branch, but the problem is they got 3 of them. They got 3 of these guys that are 5'11", 200 pounds, built like running backs, that catch the football in open space, and you're not getting them down. This is a 2nd and 10 that becomes a 1st and 5 or 1st and 10 from the 16. All right? Yeah, I could say safety, go make a tackle. Buddy, y'all ain't watching enough A&M tape. That's everybody. Everybody's go make a tackle. Go tackle the guy. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? Good luck. They got great yards after the catch weapons. He look like he's jogging out there. He's not. That's Terry Bussey. I'm pretty sure a former 5-star. Will you look that up for me, Austin? Mr. Bussey, his high school ranking, I'm pretty sure he was a blue chipper. Now, this is a great call from the offensive coordinator. I think it's going to win versus man and versus zone right here. They're going to switch release number 2 and number 7, 2 of their better weapons. All right, and Casey Concepcion is going to run right through this zone, and he's open right now. We all see that. Broadcast did a great job pointing it out. He's running right through that 2-high zone over there on that side of the field, playing a little quarter half over there as a defense, and he splits it early. The problem is they get pushed off the spot here at quarterback, and Marcel does a great job of getting flat down the line of scrimmage and refinding him. What you got for me?
5-star number 1.
Yep. And he's playing like that right about now. They're using him like that, using him in every different form and fashion. Did have a muff punt on Saturday. I love this. Stepping up in the pocket, not out. Stepping up in the pocket, not out. Great job. Great job on the interior of the offensive line as well, holding their responsibilities firm at the line of scrimmage so we can step up and then keep our eyes downfield and remain sudden as a quarterback. I think this is one of the most important things, and I think the definition of suddency at the quarterback position to me was Drew Brees. Drew Brees had the ability to throw a football right now at any moment of the football game. If he saw grass right now, ball was out. I think that's honestly the most important thing. When we talk about mechanics and it's consistency, it's accuracy, it's all that stuff. But when we talk about your throw motion, can you do whatever you do suddenly? Right? Marcel does what he does really, really suddenly. He might not have the world's biggest arm, right? It's why I think he struggles 50 yards downfield, all right? But this type of stuff, when he needs to be sudden, when ground space is created now, he goes and gets it. The other thing, again, the broadcast did such a good job last night, I thought, most of this football game. Mario Craver, great job right here. Most young wide receivers are just going to sit there and wait for that football. We have got to fight back towards the ball, or else the converging defenders will ultimately knock that ball out, and he does a great job of doing exactly that. It's textbook right there, okay? Ooh, yeah, this was the negative possession. We're going to go through the bads here in a second. All right, this was the ball that, I think this is 1st and 10. It's the first play of the possession. We have a miscommunication. This is Death Valley playing its role. All right, go ahead and punt the football. All right, we're about to be in 2nd and 21. Go ahead, punt the ball. Just don't turn it over. All right, as the offensive coordinator, time to get super conservative there and wait for the ball to get back. And here we go. We get the ball back. And guess what? They're playing some more man-to-man coverage now, getting back into their identity. So what do? We call another man-to-man beater. We got mesh again called right here, right? And the safety is going to have to fight all the way from over here and go tackle this 6'5" German, all right, that's going to be running after the catch with the foosball. Not ideal, all right? And bang, we get hit with another 25-yard chunk. This is why I said the other day, look, they're great at it. I said I understand their identity, and being a man-to-man football team, they can cover. But in my opinion, man-to-man is so pickable, it's so rubbable, it's so meshable, it's so yards after the catchable. Like, it has, even if you have great players, which they have great players, if you just sit in man-to-man coverage, I'm going to beat your scheme. I don't feel like that's 13 getting beat. Y'all feel like that's 13 getting beat, or that's the scheme getting beat? Because to me, it feels like that's man-to-man getting rubbed for 25 yards. All right, that's why I said the other day on our show, if you come to me as a defensive coordinator in an interview process and you're like, I'm a man-to-man pressure football team, I'm like, out my door. You're going to have to walk it on me. You're going to have to go 12 plays and score on me because I'm going to play in so much zone coverage, you're going to be pissed off. You're going to be like, why is my defensive coordinator not aggressive enough? I'd rather you live that way than live by deaths of explosives like this. Hey, but you can sit here as a defensive coordinator and say, well, we got to get home. Yeah, we do got to get home, Coach. We got to get home. You're right. We got to get home in under 3 seconds. Yeah, we got to do it with 4. Hey, I want to take a quick minute to give a shout out to our friends over at Sleeper. What a great time to be here on this network this year, but also a great time to be with our friends over at Sleeper. Go over to Sleeper today, the #1 place for daily fantasy and prop plays. Sleeper Picks is a real money product that connects friends over picks. Choose 2 to 8 of your favorite players from pregame, live, or even across different sports. Pick more than or less than the predicted stats. It's that simple. On Sleeper, you can get up to 100x payouts, share with your friends, and get rewarded today. Use promo code Brooks, as you see on the screen, on Sleeper and get 100% deposit match up to $100. Again, that's sleeper.com/promo/Brooks. Terms and conditions apply. Boys, as you know, we're about 28 minutes at the time of this ad read from the kickoff of NFL Sunday. So go ahead, run over to Sleeper right now. I'll give you permission to leave the stream actively. Go over to Sleeper, get a play in right quick, and get paid. We appreciate those folks over there at Sleeper. Again, that's promo code Brooks over there on Sleeper. This is a massive explosive for them, and this is a great grab by a freshman, and I think this was a major unlocking moment potentially for this kid. But before we get into that, I want to talk about their blitz pickup. Okay, they got a simulated pressure here. 7's going to drop out. This guy's going to drop out. They're going to bring the guys from depth, actually. They're going to invert, I believe. Yep, there goes the 2 linebacker drop out. The safety ends up blitzing, okay? But look at A&M and tell me if they're not locked and dialed in their blitz pickup periods. I mean, that is as clean of a pocket as we can humanly possibly get. And that's all done on Tuesday during blitz pickup period. All right. If you've ever played offensive line or a running back, you know y'all go spend about 20 minutes on Tuesday seeing every blitz, the you know what of a defensive coordinator can create to make you guys look like crap. And most of it's dialed up off what the opponent's doing. And this is, again, this is staying locked, absolutely locked and dialed into what they are doing as a pass protection unit. Great job communicating everything. Great job by the young running back realizing he's dropping, so I need to find potentially another threat or check out. Great job by everybody. All right, here's where I want to be critical. I don't understand why the quarterback is floating out of a clean pocket. I don't know why we're running to grass. All right, and here's why. Because our concepts are working away from us. We are floating this way, and the concepts are working that way, and that's never good news as a quarterback. That's never going to produce good results. All right, we're going to have to throw back across our body right here, and our freshman wide receiver makes a great grab. And here's what I was saying about A&M earlier in our studies in the year. Okay, they have such great tight ends. They have such great running backs. They have such great, slot wide receivers in Casey Concepcion and in Bussy and in Craver, right? They have such great weapons. They were one X receiver, one 3x1. If we get into 3x1 and y'all worry about all these weapons over here, these X, Ys, and Zs, or these slots, Ys, and Zs, and then all of a sudden we got this X over here that's unguardable in one-on-ones, there is no math. There's no way for me to tilt it in my favor as a defense and not feel compromised. So if this is the play that we come back to in a couple of weeks as number 3 goes for a couple hundred yards over the next several weeks, we're going to say that was the play as a young player. It was like on the road, Death Valley, second quarter, I freaking snag one and go for 40 after the catch. Like, that's big time. That's unlock the juice, unlock the confidence type of football play from a young player. And you can see the inklings of it over the last several weeks. All right, let's coach this up. And this is what I thought. This is a great adjustment from Colin Klein. I don't know if they had the conversation or not, but I think it's a great adjustment. And this should be the philosophy for A&M moving forward. This game's still tight. I believe it's still a one-score football game at this point. On the road, in this situation, I don't know what down and distance it is. Let's check the whole down and distance. All right, it's 3rd and 3. In this situation, hey, he's still a young quarterback. We're still in a tight football game. Let's give him some type of option with his legs. All right, let's let him go win the football game, get up 3 or 4 scores, and then we'll continue to develop as a quarterback. I said this on our Sunday show. I don't need him to be Tom Brady as a pocket passer today or the next 5 weeks. He might have to do that against Ohio State. They might be good enough to eliminate everything, and when we get there, we better be good enough to do so. But in these moments of the games when they're tight, they just need to let him be him, which I think they did in the second half. And we're going to show you they went straight to quarterback run, and they gashed him all the way down the field. Let him be him in these critical moments, and then when y'all are up 3 scores on Brian Kelly's goofy butt, then go let him develop as a passer. Instead of in the 4th quarter having this kid get hit in quarterback run situations, and when y'all are up 3 scores, why don't y'all, just get in a 3-step game and let him progress as a passer, let him filter through zones with no stress, no pressure, no nothing. Because all this is a safety operating off young quarterbacks' eyes. They're trying to work stick and nod right here, boys. All right, we're going to take the tight end, we're going to fake the stick, and we're going to nod out, right? And we're going to get into this area of the end zone, and we're trying to throw this ball high and away and put this ball up so our guy can go get it. But here's the problem. We float the safety into the equation because we're not positive, we're not confident enough in giving what we call in this network false eyes. All we have to do on this play, if we're going to predetermine that we're throwing the stick route, which he 100% does, if we're going to do that, all we got to do is stare at the mid-hole player for just a half a second in our drop. We watch Ty Simpson do this every week. If we just hold our eyes right here against the player that could put us in conflict, instead of immediately darting our eyes that way, do we all see that, guys? Immediately pulling and floating and pulling and floating. This safety, all right, we might be able to get away with that football. But instead, we pull him over there the entire time. If we're going to predetermine the stick and nod, if we know it's going to get in the grass, we got a dead eye that safety, or at least peek out of the corner of our eye over here with our eyes and our helmets and our shoulder pads and our alignment right down the middle of the field. Do we all get that? All right, bet. Ooh. Who is the rapper that used to, look at the flick of the wrist? Who is that guy? I don't know who it is, but look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the absolute flick of the wrist right here for Marcel Reed. This is just a little, We talked about this last week with him again. Not the biggest arm strength guy in the world, but he is an arm talent guy. He can get juice and find spin at any little angle that there is. All right, like this one right here. We're going to take a shot from number 88 right here to the chin strap, and we're going to be able to get that ball out, and bang, now we got a 19-yard play for KC Concepcion. Or is that Craver? Who knows? That's Craver. Again, I think they lead the nation in balls thrown at near the line of scrimmage that end up in a 20-pluser. I think it's a football interception. This is one of those interceptions that just happens in football sometimes. Okay, individual makes a great play. There's a corner at the top. They fire him. All right, we recognize the fire from the corner. Corner recognizes because he's an NFL football player that we're already throwing the ball, so he gets up, ball goes tipped, Harold Perkins picks it. But here's why, and we're going to continue with the film study, but here's why I think A&M is legit. And I don't think the stuff of the past is this football team. I think they're ignoring all of this. Because in this stretch of this football game, y'all went turnover, punt because we got hit in our arm, right? And we have a negative play on 1st and 10, 2nd and 21. I told you, you might as well punt the football. And they did. All right, so LSU does whatever they do. You get the ball back. You drive the ball down. You're about to score. You throw a pick. Oh, God, here we go again. And then this starts the next possession. And you're talking about, oh, my God, here we go again, snowballing on the road normally. No. This team completely goes to bat and answers in the second half. I think they go, 38 unanswered from this point forward. That's championship stuff. That's 103,000, 2 turnovers, might as well be 3. All right, just 3 burnt possessions in a row, and then all of a sudden you come out of half and you wipe the floor with them. That's great stuff, man. That's great football. All right, and that's a football interception. That's unfortunate. But it was clear to me in the second half the game plan was clear. All right, the game plan was clear. This is the first play of the second half, and as you can see, special teams already whipping LSU's ass. Already whipping them. We getting the ball at damn near midfield to start the second quarter or second half right here, and bang, we're going to hit them with quarterback run to open up from rip. All right, it's as if this is the kryptonite for this LSU defense, and we've shown it to you year after year after year. They just do not do their jobs. They just do not do their jobs. All right, I think 33 is supposed to be a quarterback player. He continues to run over into what is a running back player's job. We have Jack Pyburn over there to stop that threat, right? We're good on the jet. You're pursuing the jet, and we have nobody over here. There's literally nobody for the pull player to even block on this quarterback run. And that tackle absolutely obliterates that safety. It's pretty bad on counter when the pull and wrap player has nobody to hit. Okay, so when we get on these channels like this, I don't like to assume blame, so I shouldn't do that to 33. The point of the matter is, when I watch LSU have run fits against quarterback run and options, basically, they don't have a hat for every option in the option. And that's bad defense. Consistently bad defense. I don't need to player blame. We need to process blame. You know what I mean? 2nd and 10. They just try to throw the football. I think they had an incompletion. What do? Get right back to quarterback run game. And you can see the above noted mentions. All right. Again, another sign of we don't fit runs properly is this right here. 2 football players completely misleveraged on the football player, stacking gaps amongst one another. That's not good football, okay? I mean, it's a dead pull read. If this guy is surfing 9 times out of 10 in football that I watch, it's because somebody's taking the read. Or he's supposed to be good enough to keep his outside arm free. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be good enough to go close that play. That's the only reason we would allow him to be a surf player. Nope, just a 9-yard chunk. And against the quarterback run team, you can go ahead and kiss it goodbye on 3rd and 1. You ain't stopping that. And then after you get smacked with a couple of quarterback runs down the gullet, what happens? You get out-leveraged on the jet. Out-leveraged on the jet for 9 yards. I mean, this is one possession, guys, where they're just opening it up, hitting you with basically Hugh Freeze's offense from Auburn and just walking it on your butt. Just a lot more creatively. I mean, literally, this is the next play, Austin. Watch this. They just out-leveraged him on jet, right? Let's pause it at the crease point. Out-leveraged, out-leveraged, out-leveraged. Hat. Okay? what do? Now they got the ball in the right hash. They just line up, and I shit you not, Austin, they run it again. They out-leverage him again on jet for another 9 yards. Because, definition of insanity. Just out here doing the same thing. I bet they get out-leveraged again. Yep. If he's even, he's leaving. See ya. Okay? Great job by the back right there, picking up a hat. And then this is when I just kind of tossed the notes up and was just like, all right, brother, we're good. We're good. Just a complete inability. Or what? Hold on. I mean, we're creased up, dude. We are down here creased up in the run game. Eesh. And then I think this is the failure to QB spy correctly. Yep. I really don't know. I don't know what they teach these guys. I don't want to blame this on Harold. I don't know what he's supposed to be. I don't know where he's supposed to be going because the back knows what's about to happen. The back knows we're in a hot situation. He's trying to get out. Make a miss. And what we didn't show you in the middle of that was, they had a kick return to open the half that went back to the 44. They had a punt return back for a touchdown the first time they touched it in the second half on punt specials. The second time they touched it on punt specials, they took it back, 35 yards? My God, dude. Just get your butt whipped in every facet of the football game. That's what happened to LSU. Their fan base is rightfully pissed off. And A&M's fan base is rightfully joyous. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I love you. Bye.